Well, it's Groundhog Day. Again. And that must mean that I am Professor Robert E.G. Black, and this is the Groundhog Day Project.
It's one of those infinite time loop situations you might have heard about.
It's a thing where the same day keeps happening.
Time.
I wake up every day right here, right in Punxsutawney, and it's always February 2nd.
The last revision is what counts, apparently.
We're on minute 49 of Groundhog Day. Phil has just said that he likes to say a prayer and drink to world peace, and as we start this minute, Rita is taken aback. She is shocked, she is surprised, she is intrigued, and she's maybe finding him a little more attractive than she found him before. Or she's suspicious, or maybe it's both. Her producer brain is probably all over the place right now, as she's like, so this guy drinks the same thing as me. He says a prayer and goes to world peace. Like, he just one-upped the thing she had ready. She had that lined up. She was like, what should we drink to? And then as soon as he says anything else, she's going to be like, I just drink to world peace. Motherfucker. Trying to imagine Rita talking like that. She's got that ready. She's coming for him. And then he says that last minute, I like to say a prayer and drink to world peace. To world peace, she says. And he takes a moment of silence. World peace. Amen. They take a drink. Cut 2. Interior. Candy shop. You won't know it in this scene, but the ice cream that he has in his room later is from the same place. And I think it's then that we see the name of the place is Anderson's. It is a fake place. They set up this thing just like they set up the diner just off the square in the section we saw a couple minutes ago over by Local Color. It's there, which this is I think this space might be the bar that I was talking about that I didn't go to. I did go in there, but I didn't go there because it was really freaking packed over by where there's a Starbucks now as well. And a shop called, Local Color is basically, it's not called Local Color, but Local Color, which we saw a few minutes ago, has been replaced by a Starbucks and a shop where I freaking bought something, man. I bought a stuffed groundhog. What was the shop called? I don't remember. Anyway, there's a shop and a Starbucks and a bar. And I believe the bar is the space that is this ice cream shop in the movie. Rita's eating something. They bought some candy. This is wonderful. See, didn't I tell you? He's tried out this place a different day. Maybe he tried it out with her. Maybe he got her to come here before, but the tone was different, so he's adjusting earlier and earlier, fixing the details, perfecting the date. How do you know so much about Punxsutawney? I've spent a lot of time here. Small town people are more real, more down to earth. That's how I feel. I love that he didn't say it like it was an opinion. He just says it. And then he's like, really? Would you like to try some white chocolate? And she doesn't. She says, yuck. Don't make me sick. And he says, no white chocolate. He's committing it to memory. Don't buy the white chocolate. And she says, there is something so familiar about this. Do you ever have deja vu? And he says, great line. Much better, I think, than the deja vu exchange with Mrs. Lancaster, which is a little rude to Mrs. Lancaster. This one's funny. Didn't you just ask me that? Perfect. Perfect response to the question. Cut to interior restaurant. The actual restaurant is in Chicago. I don't remember what it's called. I don't remember if it still exists. We only get to see it once in this minute. We'll see it again next minute. Phil is talking. Rita is playing with, a toothpick, or maybe it's a piece of her salad. I'm not sure what she's playing with in her mouth. She's not eating. I pointed out in my blog once that no one in the film eats anything healthy except for the old man when Phil gives him food. Phil eats junk food. We see the whole table full of junk food. It's implied that Rita ate a sticky bun, but we don't see her eating it. They drink coffee. He gets pastries. He talks about eating the groundhog, but we don't see him actually do it, obviously. Even though the event at the end is called a banquet, we don't see the banquet part where people are eating. We just see the dance. And in this moment where they are at a restaurant, we did see them take a sip from their drinks in the bar. But now at the restaurant, they're not eating. Rita's playing with something, but she's not eating. Phil is talking, though, and he says, I think people place too much emphasis on their careers. I'm with you, Phil. Yes. I wish we could all live in the mountains at high altitude. I'm not sure why that is a thing that he says, but Rita likes it. It's kind of like the Rome, always makes me think of Rome. It's something he said, and it worked. She latched on. Or maybe it's something she said, and he's grabbing it. In which case, she should be getting really suspicious when he keeps saying things that she's thinking. She should be digging into what is going on. Why is this happening? He continues, that's where I see myself in 5 years. How about you? And she says, oh, I agree. I just like to go with the flow, see where it leads me. I don't know that that's true. I think she is currently become somewhat ambitious. She's just become a producer. She got what's actually a pretty good gig, going to Punxsutawney for the night and filming in the morning and then going right back into Pittsburgh. This is a good gig for a producer. And I'm guessing today it was pulled off rather well. Otherwise, she'd be mad at him. So this morning he did a great report, whatever it was he said. We didn't see it. Sometime this afternoon, he maybe ran into her at the bar again. And then they were drinking. And he's like, you want to get a bite to eat? And then it turns out the bar only had, like potato skins and, I don't know, some other basic thing. Pretzels. And so they went down the street, or around the other side of the square, wherever they are, to this Bavarian restaurant. We see a waitress coming in and dropping off a bunch of beers at the table next to theirs. I won't bring up the IMDb. Oh, I just did. There's an IMDb goof here that people comment on because between this minute and what will be next minute, the waitress dropping off those beers, I forget if it's the first time or the second time, but one of the times when she touches the old guy's shoulder back there, she leaves some foam from the beer on his shoulder. And people call it a goof because she doesn't do that the other day. And I'm like, who fucking cares, first of all? But also, you don't know what else has changed today. Maybe some fluctuation in time that has made Phil Girl be by herself, that has made Larry not be able to start the van, and maybe he keeps trying to start the van, and that's changing the airflow around the van. That's changing the local temperature. And this restaurant is very close by, and that changes the way the foam is forming on their beer when they're forming it. So the head is a little higher on that one day. And so that's the day that it gets on the thumb of the waitress and she touches the guy's shoulder and it leaves some foam behind. That's not a fucking goof. These are two separate days, two separate incidents. Just because Phil is acting different. Just because there's a time loop doesn't mean Phil is the only thing that acts differently. Mostly it is him acting differently, but anything he does that is different can make tiny little butterfly effect changes that changes other things.
A butterfly can flap its wings in Peking and Central Park, you get rain instead of sunshine.
Maybe as he walked into the bar this day, he was in a bad mood and he was like, fine, I'm going to go talk to Rita and cheer myself up. He's spitting something in the restaurant and that affected the way they're behaving in the kitchen, and that's why the head is different on that beer. Who knows? You don't know. You don't know! Don't just write something as goof because you saw, that one time it happened and then it happened a different way the other time. No shit. Also, it's a fucking movie. You think they're going to worry about filming this shot again because some foam got on a guy's shoulder? Even if they saw that, they're not reshooting just for that. That's stupid. That's fucking waste of money and time. And I said I wasn't going to bring it up. War. It's war between me and the IMDb goofs. Sometimes there'll be one that's correct. I've seen things, though. Groundhog Day, there are a few that are correct on there. Some that I think I put on IMDb. But definitely more of them are wrong. Or are irrelevant, like this one. Is it correct that there's foam on the guy's shoulder only one of the two times? Yes. Does it matter? No, because it doesn't prove anything. It's like people saying, Phil ran on day 3, so he should be arriving before Ned is at that intersection. Except you don't know how far it is. You don't know what happened in the meantime. Maybe Phil ran too much and almost got hit by a car and that slowed him down. Or maybe he ran too fast and that made him tired. And then so he ends up walking slower than he would have walked the day before when he wasn't running. And so he ends up getting there at the exact same time because it averages back out. Anyway, do Phil or Rita believe what he just said? The people place too much emphasis on their careers? I don't think so. I think Rita is trying to build her career right now. And Phil definitely is trying not to emphasize his career, but that's because he thinks his career is going badly right now. If he suddenly got the job at the network, he would definitely be putting emphasis on his career. He'd be bragging about that shit. Hell, he used it to pick up Nancy. I'm about to go do this report. Oh, you're a reporter? Yeah, I'm a weatherman, Channel 9 Pittsburgh. He's using the information to pick her up. Even the woman, last minute when he pulled the thing out of the van and the woman recognized him. Thanks for watching. People put too much emphasis on their careers. Is he correct? Yes. Does he believe it? I don't think so. I wish we could all live in the mountains at high altitude. Does he believe that? No. Phil doesn't want to live in the mountains at high altitude. He wants to live in the big city. He wants to be on a network. He wants to be able to have more women available. That's where I see myself in 5 years. No, he doesn't. Neither does Rita. Unless somehow those mountains are fairly close to a city. But she also wants to be a news person. She wants to be a producer. She wants to make things. I don't think anything he says here is anything that either of them believe. But it's a date. It's another way the movie is showing us. It doesn't matter whether Phil is lying on these dates, because everyone lies on dates. I don't. But I haven't been on that many actual dates in my life. Oddly enough. I never was doing dating. I was on a dating app briefly when my wife and I were separated, and I went on 2 dates with people from dating apps. And went on a couple dates in high school. I guess technically some dates with my wife, both before and after we got married. Anyway, that's all I got for minute 49. Wow, minute 49. We're about to hit 50. That's half the movie, right? Because this movie is 101, including the credits. Yeah, we're passing halfway today. Well, for me today. For you to be 2 days from now, but when I'm recording, I record a bunch of these at a time. That's why I've been recording in my classrooms on the USC campus, teaching for Upward Bound, teaching for Trade Tech, which is one of the various schools I work for as an adjunct. That's where I was this summer, part of this summer. For purposes of reference, it is July 1st at this point. I recorded minute 1 2 weeks ago yesterday. And I hope to be done with the whole movie by the time this 5-week summer session is complete. So the entire season will be recorded before I start releasing it. Anyway, I think I already said that's all I got for minute 49. Let's get out of here. Go do something fun.
You were gonna say that.
This has been a production of Lemming Drops Studio. You can find links to more at lemmingdrops.com or join the Facebook group Lemming Drops Studio Tour. Also, you can support all my shows at patreon.com/lemmingdrops.
What is wrong in the end which never comes? Or which comes again and again, lapping, like waves.
Since the Big Bang set everything in motion, everything that happens in this universe has to be the way it is. Particles unfolding the way they're destined to.
How do you sleep at night? You've never seen Groundhog Day?
Yeah, you know Groundhog Day is not a documentary.
Remember when Groundhog Day was just a movie?